सुस्वागतम सुस्वागतम सुस्वागतम. अखिल भारतीय अधिवक्ता परिषद छत्रपती संभाजीनगर जागतिक महिला दिनानिमित्त आयोजित या व्याख्यानमालेत मी ॲडव्होकेट आरती उत्तमराव शिंगणे, सदस्य अखिल भारतीय अधिवक्ता परिषद छत्रपती संभाजीनगर, सर्व उपस्थित मान्यवरांचे व श्रोत्यांचे मनापासून शब्दसुमनांनी स्वागत करते. जागतिक महिला दिनाचे औचित्य साधून अखिल भारतीय अधिवक्ता परिषद छत्रपती संभाजीनगर आयोजित 3 दिवसीय आभासी व्याख्यानमालेचे आजचे तिसरे पुष्प आहे. आजच्या या व्याख्यानमालेचा विषय आहे स्त्री पुरुष समानता. आजच्या या व्याख्यानमालेसाठी आपल्याला अध्यक्ष म्हणून श्री अतुलजी काळे सर लाभलेले आहेत. तसेच प्रमुख वक्ते म्हणून असाधारण व्यक्तिमत्व आपल्याला आज लाभलेले आहे श्रीमती अस्मिताताई वैद्य, प्राचार्य, शासकीय विधी महाविद्यालय, मुंबई, आज आपल्यामध्ये उपस्थित आहेत. आजचे आपले अध्यक्ष श्री अतुलजी काळे यांचा परिचय करून देण्याचा योग आजच्या या व्याख्यानमालेच्या निमित्ताने मला मिळालेला आहे. श्री अतुलजी रामराव काळे, उच्च न्यायालय खंडपीठ, छत्रपती संभाजीनगर येथे 2001 पासून वकिली व्यवसाय करतात. तसेच अतिरिक्त सरकारी वकील उच्च न्यायालय म्हणून कार्यरत आहेत. संघ दृष्टीने तृतीय वर्ष शिक्षित. संघ व अन्य क्षेत्रात अनेक जबाबदाऱ्या यांनी सांभाळलेल्या आहेत. सध्या अखिल भारतीय अधिवक्ता परिषद देवगिरी प्रांत सहमंत्री असे त्यांच्याकडे दायित्व आहे. यानंतर आपल्या कार्यक्रमाच्या प्रमुख वक्त्या श्रीमती अस्मिताताई वैद्य, प्राचार्य, शासकीय विधी महाविद्यालय, मुंबई यांचा परिचय मी थोडक्यात आपल्याला सांगू इच्छिते. अस्मिताताई वैद्य ह्या त्यांच्या पदवी आणि पदव्युत्तर शिक्षणामध्ये गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट आणि युनिव्हर्सिटी फर्स्ट रँकर आहेत. त्यांनी त्यांचे MBA चे शिक्षण ह्युमन रिसोर्स मॅनेजमेंट मध्ये पूर्ण केलेले आहे. तसेच अस्मिताताईंनी त्यांची PhD 2009 ला पूर्ण केलेली आहे. त्यांनी त्यांच्या कारकिर्दीची सुरुवात 1995 पासून विधी पदव्युत्तर विभाग नागपूर विद्यापीठ येथून सुरू केली. तिथे त्या शिक्षिका म्हणून कार्यरत होत्या. तर त्यानंतर त्यांनी आतापर्यंत बरेच उच्चांक गाठल्यानंतर आज घडीला त्या शासकीय विधी महाविद्यालय मुंबई येथे प्राचार्य म्हणून कार्यरत आहेत. आतापर्यंत त्यांनी 85 पदव्युत्तर तर 7 PhD धारक विद्यार्थ्यांना गायडन्स केलेले आहे. ताईंना अनेक पुरस्कारही मिळालेले आहेत. अस्मिताताई आपल्याला आज स्त्री पुरुष समानता या विषयावर थोडक्यात मार्गदर्शन करणार आहेत. तरी मी जास्त वेळ न घेता अस्मिताताईंना विनंती करते की त्यांनी आजचा जो आपला विषय आहे स्त्री पुरुष समानता यावर आम्हाला मार्गदर्शन करावे.
सर्वांना नमस्कार. मा सरस्वतीला वंदन. आजच्या कार्यक्रमाचे अध्यक्ष अतुलजी काळे सर, आरतीताई आणि इतर माझ्या सर्व बंधू भगिनींना नमस्कार. आजचा विषय खरं तर स्त्री पुरुष समानता. पण या पुढे जाऊन मी असं म्हणणार आहे की जेंडर जस्टिस वेदर इट इज अ मिथ ऑर अ ट्रुथ, किंवा जेंडर इक्वालिटी वेदर इट इज अ मिथ ऑर अ ट्रुथ. जेंडर हा शब्द जेव्हा आपण ऐकतो तेव्हा सहज त्यांनी आपल्याला लक्षात येतं की स्त्री आणि पुरुष म्हणजेच मेल अँड फिमेल यांच्या बद्दलचा हा शब्द आहे. म्हणून मग आपण जेव्हा जेंडर जस्टिस किंवा जेंडर इक्वालिटी बद्दल बोलतो तर वी नो दॅट द जेंडर इंडिकेट्स टुवर्ड्स युअर एक्झिस्टन्स ॲज अ मेल ऑर फिमेल. आणि जेंडर जस्टिस डज मीन no one be denied justice or discriminated only because of the sex. म्हणजे फक्त स्त्री आहात म्हणून कुठल्याही प्रकारचं डिस्क्रिमिनेशन होऊ नये यासाठी म्हणून जे काही आहे ती टर्म जी वापरतात त्याला आपण जेंडर जस्टिस असं म्हणतो. There is a difference between the word sex and gender. They are not synonym. Generally we are taking it as a same word, but it is not so. Sex indicates the biological aspect and gender indicates the sociological differences between the two. जेव्हा आपण जेंडर म्हणतो तेव्हा आपण स्त्री आहे की पुरुष आहे या अर्थाने बोलत असतो. स्त्री असेल तर ताई हा विशेष गुण आपण तिच्या समोर लावतो, किंवा पुरुष असेल तर दादा असं म्हणून म्हणतो. सो दॅट इज अ सोशल इंडिकेशन. आणि सोशोलॉजिकल डिफरन्सेस जे आहेत ते आपल्याला जेंडरमुळे कळून येतात. Sociologically, it refers to the socio-cultural definition of a man and woman on the basis of the social role assigned to them. आणि म्हणून स्त्री आणि पुरुष समानता हा जो विषय आहे, हा जेव्हा आपण अभ्यासतो किंवा विचार करतो, तेव्हा आपल्या लक्षात येतं की जनरली द जेंडर जस्टिस इट रेफर्स ओनली टू द फेअर सेक्स and deals with the justice to them. When we say gender equality, we always mean it that it refers to the fair sex. आणि जेंडर जस्टिस जेव्हा सुद्धा म्हणतो तेव्हा सुद्धा we mean justice to women. आणि म्हणून जेव्हा आपण इक्वालिटीच्या बद्दल विचार करतो त्यावेळेला it refers to the equality between the sexes. It is realized globally that if we want to have some kind of a progress of a state or the society, what is very important is the progress of the fair sex. The moment of her progress, her struggle for the equal rights and justice to her, that moment has been started from, we can say that it started with the initiation of the term human rights. Government framed certain policies in her favor. Many laws, they are also framed only to extend the social security and certain rights to her. The amendments were also made in the existing laws, and amendments particularly have been made with the intention to implement the laws in the perfect way. We all are well versed with the fact that there cannot be a society of men only. Women effectively constitutes half of the world's population, and therefore it is expected that she should be treated equally on every path of her life. And therefore we always go with the term gender equality, or we always struggle for gender justice. This fact that we should go with the development of the women, we should go with the development and empowerment of the women, that was realized by the social reformers, even nation builders and social activists. And they have actually taken efforts to frame different laws for the development and empowerment of the women, which ultimately ended or aimed at having the gender equality. Gender inequality is not the newly emerged concept, but it was in existence from the ages together. It is the result of the gender hierarchies, discrimination, subjugation, and the suppression. Gender inequality reflected through the social levels and practices. आपल्याला छोट्या छोट्या गोष्टींमधनं ह्या इनइक्वालिटीज दिसल्या, अगदी अनादी काळापासून म्हटलं तरी चालेल. पर्टिक्युलरली सती प्रथा पाहिलं, किंवा पर्दा सिस्टीम पाहिलं, जौहर पाहिलं, किंवा देवदासी सिस्टीम पाहिली, किंवा चाइल्ड मॅरेज पाहिलं, तर या सगळ्या प्रथांमधून आपल्याला जेंडर इनइक्वालिटी सतत दिसत आली. आणि देअरफॉर वी हॅव actually started thinking about the gender justice. Gender justice still is proliferating and manifested through comparatively recent problems such as the dowry deaths, domestic violence, trafficking, female infanticide, female feticide, sexual objectification, and sexual harassment at workplace. And therefore, we always say, खरं तर आईच्या उदरातून मुलगा आणि मुलगी दोघंही जन्म घेतात. Women, like men, are born from the same womb. But still in all societies, all over the globe, we can say, we find scathing attack against women. It is the harsh reality that women have been ill-treated in every society. Not only ill-treated, but always put in secondary position. either in families or even in the society. They are never given the equal status as men. For assuming the secondary position, some social factors they are also very much responsible. I'll give you a simple example. See, when we drive a car or even a two-wheeler, and if something goes wrong with our driving, for example, we are keeping the side indicator on, unknowingly it remained as it is. So the other persons, they will immediately make a comment. काय मुलींना का ना आजकाल व्हेकल चालवता येत नाही, जायचंय कुठे, ठेवलाय कुठलं इंडिकेटर. So such kind of shabby comments generally we heard. So this is only because of certain social factors. So those social factors such as, firstly, existence of patriarchal family. पुरुष सत्ताक पद्धती. त्यामुळे the secondary position is always given to her. Not only that, but there are certain historical, political and social perceptions as well. Of course, there are biological reasons because God have given us very godly responsibility to give birth to a child, and therefore that has also placed us on back foot. Even samskaras are such that we are always told that you should be inside the house, satcha at garat, inside the house before 7 o'clock. Security is also one of the factor. Mindset of the society is such that they always treat women in the secondary position and they don't like to have the dominance of the women. The another factor for gender inequality is the economic dependency. Most of the women all over India or even outside, we find that they are economically dependent on the earnings of the husband. Illiteracy is also one of the reasons, though partly women are educated, but still most of the percentage of women, they are still illiterate. Some religious prohibitions are also there, and most importantly, the callous attitude of the male in the society that creates the gender inequality. To overcome all these kinds of inequality, as I said earlier, many laws are framed. Even during the colonial period, we find many laws are framed, and after independence, constitution have taken care of the women and constitutional safeguards have been given. If we take preamble, we find that it starts with the word we the women, we the people of India. We means the women, and it includes men as well as women. So it indicates it is inclusive of we all. And therefore, equality of status and opportunity, these are also the word we find everywhere included in the constitution. The preamble again assures the dignity of individuals, which includes the dignity of the women as well. On the basis of the preamble, several important enactments have been brought into the operation pertaining to every walk of life. Family, succession, guardianship, employment, which aim at providing and protecting the status, rights, dignity of the women. Fundamental rights under Article 14, equality before law under Article 15, prohibition of discrimination on grounds of sex, then Article 16, which speaks about the equality of opportunity in matters of public employment. So all the three articles, if we go through, we find that because of all these three mainly articles, we are working everywhere. We are there in the lawyer's profession. We are there in the doctor's profession. We are there in every offices. And it is possible only because we got equal opportunity along with the men. And discrimination on the ground of the sex has been taken away. That constitutional safeguard has been given to us. Equality of opportunity in matters of the public employment that has increased the percentage of the women employment or women employee in many of the public offices. Along with these three articles, Article 19 1G, Article 21, which gives the protection of life and liberty, and Article 23, which is the right against exploitation and prohibition of the trafficking in traffic in human beings. This has also resulted into bringing the equality, gender equality, we can say. So all these articles definitely have played very, very important role in empowering us. And to some extent, yes, we have been brought on the same platform wherein we can go with all others. Now see, Article 19 1G is also very, very important because to realize the concept of gender equality, the Supreme Court has laid down the exhaustive guidelines in case of Vishakha versus State of Rajasthan to prevent the harassment of working women at their workplace. These guidelines were framed to protect the rights of the working women to work with the dignity under Article 14, 19, and 21 of the Constitution. At that time, the Lordship has also observed that each incident of sexual harassment of women at workplace results in violation of fundamental rights of gender equality and rights to life and liberty. So by implementing very important articles and giving or extending the rights, we are somewhat gaining the equality. Article 21 also is very, very important, which contains the provisions for the protection of life and personal liberty of the persons. A single line containing 18 words article has gained the maximum judicial attention and widened the interpretation. This Article 21 have actually been interpreted widely, and it has included many rights like right to privacy, right to live with dignity, right to education, right to avail the facilities for the rehabilitation, right to take birth, and so on. This particular article pushed and put women on equal platform with the men. This definitely we can say. Article 23, as I said, it is against exploitation and prohibition of the trafficking in human being. The part 4 of the Constitution also talk about the has extended certain rights, because this particular article, this particular part 4 of the Constitution has given the directions to the state to frame certain laws which are necessary for giving the protection and security to the women. Article 39A, the state has given state shall direct its policy towards securing that the citizens, men and women, equally have the right to an adequate means of livelihood. Similarly, Article 39D, the state shall direct its policy towards securing the equal pay for equal work. And therefore, we find that somewhere equality has been brought. Further, even Article 39A, the state shall direct its policy towards securing that the citizens, men and women, equally have the right for its livelihood as well as for securing any kind of a job. Even Article 42 is equally important, and as you all know, Article 44 provides that the state shall endeavor to secure for its citizens a uniform civil code throughout the territory of India. So all these articles we find that they are moving towards the gender justice. In our society, when we become more concerned about women and her position in society, we find that she grows with some limitations, lives with some limitations throughout life. In her childhood, she is under the protection of her father. After marriage, under the protection of her husband. And in the old age, under the mercy of the sons. India has a history for more than 10 decades legislations for women entitlement in order to just put her position, ameliorate her position, condition of women in India, and with the intention to give her rights, to give her security, to make her economically stable, many rights has been given to her. And now after going through the constitutional safeguards, we can just have a look on legislative measures. Most of us, we all are well aware with. So I will not go in detail with the laws, but I will definitely make some mention of certain laws. See, before independence, that is in colonial period, abolition of Sati Pratha Act has been passed in 1829. Actually, the codification process has been started in 1600. But abolition, and after that, when English people, they realized that such kind of prathas, which are very antisocial that way, are still in existence, and therefore they have passed certain laws. Under that, we get one law, that is abolition of Sati Pratha. The other one is Hindu widows remarriage. Then ban on female infanticide, or even the Indian Divorce Act was passed, and Child Marriage Restraint Acts. These all are the laws which are pre-independent laws. And after independence, many important laws has been passed, which has given right to us. Hindu Marriage Act, Hindu Succession Act, Hindu Minority and Adoption Act, Hindu Widows Remarriage Act, Special Marriage Act, Minimum Wages Act, Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act, even Suppression of Immoral Traffic in Women and Girls Act, Dowry Prohibition Act again has been passed, Maternity Benefit Act, Equal Remuneration Act, Pensions Act, Indecent Representation of Women Prohibition Act, which has been passed in the year 1986, or the other acts such as Factories Act. Under that, certain provisions has been made to give her facility, and certain rules were framed that she should not be given the duty more than 8 hours. On duty hours should be a day hours, and many such acts, many such provisions are made under the earlier acts, like earlier codes like IPC or CRPC, and even under the Evidence Act. So after going through the list of the laws, we find that yes, there are n number of legal provisions given to her, with the help of which she is now empowered, not only empowered, but standing with the equality footing. And not only that, she is realizing a kind of feeling of justice given to her. But after going through the list of laws, we come to the conclusion that India, after independence, during the span near about 75 years, tried to provide her legal umbrella, even social security, economic stability as well, to some extent, and many rights are given to her. Remember, all these rights were extended to demarcate the line of gender inequality. Though many legislative measures were taken to empower her, to give her certain rights, to put her on the equal platform with men, but because of social constraints, illiteracy among the womanhood, economic dependency, and her sex factor, could not provide her justice in real sense. With the advancement of the technology, new challenges, they crop up, and just she is facing those new challenges as well. For example, the new challenges like security, she is not at all safe, even at home, at workplace, outside, anywhere. The heinous crimes such as acid attacks, they are going on. Dowry deaths are still, we are observing. Then with the advancement of technology and medical science, the problems like female infanticide, or the sex selective abortions, even the other problems like other challenges before her, they are the trafficking, rape, sexual harassment. She has to overcome all this. And new challenges such as the cyber crimes against her, surrogacy, live-in relationship, objectification, all these are the new problems. Now, she never had thought of giving her home on rent, but now that also is going on. Live-in relationship is another challenge because we know that in such relationship she is not going to get any kind of marital rights, marital status, even status for the outcome, that is the children, their children, successionary rights, all rights incidental to marriage are put in question if she is going with the live-in relationship. So these are the problems which we generally have observed after 1990 and after globalization. But there are still certain laws, they are framed to overcome these problems as well. For example, the PCPNDT Act has been passed, Domestic Violence Act has been passed in 2005, Vishakha Directives Act and women for safety of the women at workplace, that has been passed. Unorganized Workers Social Security Act, that has been passed in 2008, and laws related to surrogacy very recently has been passed to give her protection for the commercial surrogacy. Information Technology Law Act, that also gives rather have given certain protection to her. Right to Education Act has also been passed. Now, after having so much of discussion and realizing the fact that the women have been given the constitutional safeguards and the legal shelter or legal umbrella, can we say that we have achieved the gender justice? Definitely not. We have not achieved it, but we are approaching towards the gender justice. The new challenges, as I have mentioned you, that like surrogacy, live-in relationship, even the contract marriages were put her in trouble, and we have to provide her solution for that. Despite of increase in the women's upward graph, her development with the help of the education, we find that there is a difference in the sex ratio. Female infanticides also increased based on the sex factor. Abortions are going on. Sexual harassment cases are much more. Then even female child labor is going on. Surrogacy is of course there. So these are all the worrying factors. But we can definitely say that the constitutional and legislative safeguards has resulted into achieving the gender equality to some extent. So how to fight against this gender inequality? This is the million-dollar question, because we have to go with many parameters. Firstly and foremost important is awareness among the women from ground root level to the top for equal status and gender justice. See, we have to fight for the equal status and even for the gender justice. And regarding that, everybody will have to get aware of it. Secondly, who will take the initiative for making us aware regarding the gender equality? Of course, the women will have to take the initiative, and then only that initiative will bring the change. There should be no misuse of laws by the women. This is very, very important. The very important factor which I feel always is, if we want to fight against the gender inequality, we as a women, as a mother, we will have to change our role. It should be more vigilant, we must say. We should treat every child alike. From home only, as it is always say, that charity begins at home. So from home only, we will have to give that training that there is no difference between the two, the son and the daughter. We will have to wash out the impression of being secondary. Similarly, we'll have to increase the voice of women in decision making in all aspects, in all spheres, and all level from household to the boardroom. Similarly, she must learn to respect the status given to her by the society. Once she starts her dutiful approach, definitely it will give her some kind of a status in the society, and dutiful approach will help her to bring her on the equal platform. Another very important thing is everybody will have to strive for ending the violence against the women and girls. We will have to improve the strong public willingness to give women the status of equality in the society. Judiciary is making its efforts. I think collective consciousness can only bring the gender equality, and it will help to fight against the gender inequality. Of course, strict enforcement of all the relevant provisions, speedy redressal of grievances, must be ensured with the special focus on the violence and gender related issues. Gender sensitization, of course, can lessen down the gender inequality, and it will bring a society it will bring the awareness in the society. Crimes against women, they are increasing day by day, and therefore crimes against women, their incidents, prevention, investigation, detention, prosecution should be regularly reviewed so as to curb and avoid the unwanted instances against the women. Achieving gender equality will make the world more healthier, happier place, and is crucial to make lasting environmental progress as well. Because equal participation in every field of the women will definitely be the perfect development of the society. Giving women a sovereignty over their bodies, including the unrestricted access to the modern contraceptions and abortions, will put her in more healthier way, ending the practice of child and forced marriages, which violate women, which violates the girls' rights to healthy, fulfilling life. All these factors will definitely help in achieving the gender equality. Granting women the full equality under all laws and ending all policies that disadvantage women. Eliminating the patriarchal attitude. We are experiencing, every woman have actually experienced the patriarchal approach, the dominance, and many of the women, they are the sufferers. So preventing from it, we will have to eliminate the patriarchal attitude. Similarly, providing the adequate parental leave and child care opportunities should be given to women, which will definitely help her to keep her mind very live, as well as she will positively think of and go for the or rather she will move towards the equality. Though, as I said, many legislative measures are taken to root out the gender inequality, and judicial efforts are also made. We are well versed with many of the cases, Nirbhaya case, even Vishakha case, Triple Talaq case. All these judicial efforts, they are made to establish the gender justice, but I must say that being women, our efforts are deadly required to empower and to strengthen ourselves. Women are required to take the initiative to stop this inequality. We hesitate to communicate our son. We never communicate him that beta, you should be in by 7 o'clock, before 7 p.m. 7च्या आत घरात ये मुलींना जेवढ्या अधिकाराने आपण सांगतो तेवढ्या अधिकाराने आपण मुलांना कधीही 7च्या आत घरात ये असं सांगत नाही. But I think the moment we as a women and mother, we start telling our sons that you should be in by 7 o'clock, I think other problems will automatically will get dissolved. And therefore, women as a mother, they are required to take initiative to stop this kind of inequality. Further, as I said you, charity begins at home. We can change the world. Respect the recognition given to us by the society and legal protection extended to us. Be proud of womanhood and let the society feel proud of us. Justice will definitely follow us. There will not be any need to ask for the justice. It will automatically come to us. If we want to achieve the gender equality, definitely we will have to live with the dignity and we should be proud of womanhood. I think this much discussion is sufficient. I'm really thankful to Devgiri Pranta for giving me this opportunity to have a dialogue with you all. Thank you. Thank you very much.
धन्यवाद अस्मिता, तुम्ही केलेले मार्गदर्शन खरंच आमच्यासाठी खूप मोलाचे आहे. आणि तुम्ही सांगितलेली जी कन्सेप्ट आहे जेंडर इक्वॅलिटीची, असं वाटलं पुन्हा एकदा आम्ही कॉलेजला आहोत. खूपच छान वाटलं. धन्यवाद. आता मी अतुलजी काळे सरांना विनंती करते की त्यांनी आम्हाला मार्गदर्शनपर 2 शब्द बोलावे.
नमस्कार. आभासी व्याख्यानमालेच्या आजच्या तिसऱ्या पुष्प गुंफण्यासाठी आवर्जून उपस्थित राहिलेल्या वक्त्या श्रीमती अस्मिताताई वैद्य मॅडम, प्राचार्य, शासकीय विधी महाविद्यालय मुंबई, अधिवक्ता परिषद छत्रपती संभाजीनगर जिल्हा अध्यक्ष श्री सुदेशजी, महामंत्री रविकिरणजी, सर्व सन्माननीय पदाधिकारी, महिला प्रमुख व आभासी पद्धतीने उपस्थित असलेले सर्व अधिवक्ता बंधू आणि भगिनी, सप्रेम नमस्कार. आज अस्मिताताईंनी आपल्याला अतिशय छान असं मार्गदर्शन केलेलं आहे. वुमन एम्पॉवरमेंट या विषयावरती, समानता आणि अनेक विषयांना त्यांनी हात घातला. प्रत्येक विषयावरती त्यांनी त्यांचं मत सांगितलं, आपल्याला मार्गदर्शन केलं. त्यात थोडंसं मला असं वाटतं की आपण जर पाठीमागे जाऊन पाहिलं तर आपल्याला थोडंसं अधिकच कळेल. सांगायचं झालं तर भारतीय समाज रचनेमध्ये स्त्रियांचं स्थान हे कधीही दुय्यम नव्हतं आणि मी तर म्हणेल की काकणभर वरचढच होतं. म्हणून तर आपण पाहतो की तीनही शक्तींची आदिशक्ती म्हणून आपण स्त्रीकडेच पाहतो. ती तर शक्तीची जननीच आहे. ज्या पंचकन्यांचं आपण प्रातस्मरण करतो त्या पण स्त्रियाच आहेत. प्रातवंदनीय म्हणतो आपण त्यांना. यापुढे पाहिलं तर अनेक वेदांच्या ऋचा सुद्धा अनेक महिलांनी लिहिलेल्या आहेत. म्हणजे स्त्री शिक्षण, साक्षरता हा अनादी काळापासून जर पाहिला विषय तर स्त्रिया ह्या शिक्षित होत्या. आणि भारतीय परिप्रेक्षामध्ये पाहिलं तर स्त्रियांना अतिशय उच्च असं स्थान ह्या भारतीय समाजाने दिलेलं आहे. केवळ काहीतरी समाजामध्ये आलेल्या विकृती ह्या थोड्याशा बाजूला ठेवल्या तर आजही आपण एकांना आईच्या नावाने ओळखतो. आज मला कुणीही म्हणतं माझ्या आईच्या नावानेच ओळखतात. असं आहे. त्यामुळे अधिक न बोलता मी इथे थांबतो आणि संयोजकांचे आभार मानतो. मला बोलवलं. धन्यवाद.
धन्यवाद सर. आता मी मानसीताई घाणेकर यांना आभार प्रदर्शनासाठी आमंत्रित करते.
नमस्कार. अखिल भारतीय अधिवक्ता परिषद जिल्हा छत्रपती संभाजीनगर अशा आम्ही आयोजित केलेल्या आंतरराष्ट्रीय महिला दिनानिमित्त आभासी व्याख्यानमालेचं आज तिसरं पुष्प अस्मिताताई वैद्य, प्राचार्य, शासकीय विधी महाविद्यालय मुंबई यांनी गुंफलेलं आहे. आज सुंदर असं विवेचन ताईंनी केलेलं आहे. समाजामध्ये जसं त्यांनी म्हटलं तसं फक्त पुरुषांचा समाज बनत नाही. म्हणून समाजात जर का प्रगती व्हायला हवी आहे, समाजाची जर का प्रगती व्हायला हवी असेल किंवा प्रगती हा शब्द पण न वापरता समाज जर का निकोप आणि सुदृढ असा हवा असेल तर आपल्याला स्पर्धक नकोय, पूरक हवाय. स्त्री पुरुष समाजात समान आहेत याचा अर्थ स्त्री पुरुष निसर्गतः वेगळे असले तरी दोघांमध्ये वेगवेगळ्या क्षमता, कौशल्य, शक्ती जरी वेगवेगळ्या असल्या तरी दोघेही समाजासाठी एकसारखेच महत्वाचे आहेत. म्हणून दोघांना समान वागणूक म्हणजे सारखाच मान द्यायला हवा आहे. याचं प्रतिमान जसं आता अतुलजींनी सांगितलं तसं आपल्या संस्कृतीत आधीपासून अर्धराणी नटेश्वराच्या रूपानं आहे. आधी जसं अतुलजींनी आता म्हटलं तसं स्त्रियांचं स्थान वरच्या दर्जाचंच होतं. मध्ययुगीन काळामध्ये आक्रमकांमुळे स्त्रियांचं संरक्षण करण्याच्या नादामध्ये काही विघातक प्रथा पडल्या. पण आपल्या संस्कृतीच्या भक्कमपणामुळे आणि प्रवाहीपणामुळे अस्मिताताईंनी सांगितलेल्याप्रमाणे परत कायद्यांमध्ये कोडिफिकेशन सुरू होऊन, परत कायद्यांमध्ये सुधारणा सुरू होऊन कायद्यानं स्त्रियांच्या सामाजिक दर्जाला ठामपणा मिळालेला आहे. अस्मिताताईंनी अतिशय सुंदररित्या राज्यघटनेतल्या तरतुदी आपल्याला सांगितल्या. स्त्रियांच्या हक्काचं रक्षण केल्यामुळे स्त्रियांच्या सन्मानाला, प्रगतीला आणि माणूस म्हणून असलेल्या मूलभूत अधिकारांना कायद्याचं सुंदरपैकी कौंदन मिळालेलं आहे. अस्मिताताईंनी अतिशय अवघड शैलीमध्ये स्वातंत्र्यपूर्व काळापासून ते अगदी आतापर्यंतच्या स्त्रियांसाठीच्या कायद्याचं सुंदर विवेचन केलंय आणि त्याच्याच बरोबर न्याय संस्थेच्या योगदानाचंही त्यांनी अतिशय छान आपल्याला रसाळ शैलीमध्ये आपल्याला हे सांगितलेलं आहे. आणि ह्याच्यामुळे आपल्या समाजात ह्या सगळ्याचं कसं प्रतिबिंब पडलेलं आहे हे देखील त्यांनी अतिशय छान सांगितलेलं आहे. आपले अधिवक्ता परिषदेचे इथे मी सगळ्यांचे आभार मानू इच्छिते. आपल्या अधिवक्ता परिषदेचे राष्ट्रीय मंत्री, आमचे आधारस्तंभ ऍडव्होकेट संजीवजी देशपांडे, देवगिरी प्रांताचे प्रांताध्यक्ष ऍडव्होकेट श्रीकांतजी अद्वंत, देवगिरी प्रांताच्या महामंत्री ऍडव्होकेट संगीताताई बागुल, हे तिघही आमचे कायमच आधारस्तंभ राहिलेले आहेत. या तिघांचे मी जिल्हा अधिवक्ता परिषदेच्या तर्फे आभार मानू इच्छिते. जिल्हा अधिवक्ता परिषदेचे कार्यक्रम, कोणतेही कार्यक्रम, आमचे जे खंदे कार्यकर्ते पाईक आहेत ऍडव्होकेट रवीजी घोडे सर आणि ऍडव्होकेट सुदेशजी शिरसाट सर यांच्याशिवाय पूर्ण होऊच शकत नाहीत. ते नेहमीच त्यांच्या दायित्वाचं अतिशय सुंदर पद्धतीने निर्वहन करतात. या दोघांचे मी इथे आभार मानते. कार्यक्रमाचं सूत्रसंचालन अतिशय छानपैकी केल्याबद्दल मी ऍडव्होकेट आरतीताई शिंगणे यांचे आभार मानते. तांत्रिक सहाय्य आम्हाला शुभमजी भुजबळांनी उपलब्ध करून दिलं. या ठिकाणी मी त्यांचेही आभार मानते आणि सर्व वक्त्यांचे इथे आवर्जून आल्याबद्दल, हजेरी लावल्याबद्दल आणि आमच्या या कार्यक्रमामध्ये सहभागी झाल्याबद्दल मी इथे आभार मानते आणि कार्यक्रम संपला असं जाहीर करते.
धन्यवाद.
धन्यवाद. शुभरात्री.
जय श्रीराम.